Hey everyone, this is Matthew Kent, and welcome to my daily vlog. Welcome to another morning walk. I finished my 20s out yesterday strong by waking up early and going for an early walk, and starting my 30s off on a good note. So what I've been thinking about today was a great comment from a woman named Jen Smith that I got yesterday on the video that was sort of the intro to the return of the daily vlog series, where of course I talked a lot about fear. And she was asking me about fear, and she was kind enough to share a little bit of her own story that apparently she had gotten into leadership and then burned out. And so for her, one of the things that she's afraid of is actually, ironically, the fear of success. She doesn't want to succeed and be put into a position where then she's gonna burn out like she did before. And so she was asking me, hey, what does fear look like for you? And I thought that was a great question. And in my response to her, I kind of identified some of the big ones, I think, for me. And I think it ends up being the big ones for most people. The fear of the unknown, just change is always scary for human beings. The fear of failure. None of us want to view ourselves as somebody who fails. We want to view ourselves as success. As humans, we're storytelling people, and we tell ourselves stories about ourselves that are very powerful. And another one I said, was I did share her fear of success, but I think in a slightly different form. I think for me, I don't want to start going down a path and start succeeding at it only to realize it's the wrong path. And so it becomes like this fear of commitment, because I don't want to pigeonhole myself into a route that I don't really want to go down just because I was chasing success. And so those were the things that I mentioned in my reply to her, but I've been thinking about it more, and I think there's other forms that are either I didn't touch at all on my response, or they're different enough that they're worth mentioning. And so one, I would distinguish, there's the fear of failure in general, but one that I think is very important to ask yourself if you're suffering from is the fear of failing in front of other people. And so this could be somebody who you're worried about disappointing. It could be a spouse, particularly a parent, somebody who has high expectations for you. If that's the case, you might want to just go talk with them. And just say, hey, I'm really afraid of failing in this, and I just really appreciate your encouragement, and that you let me know that you love me, even if I fail at whatever this thing is that I'm doing. The other, sort of fear of failing in front of somebody is a competitive sort, right? And so you've got that buddy, and they're a great buddy of yours, and you love them to death, but at the same time, subconsciously, you sort of want to be a little bit more successful than they are. And so if you crash and burn big time, they're going to look at it and kind of snicker, and they'll feel like they're more successful than you are, or something like that. Or maybe they're not even your buddy, maybe they're your enemy, which makes it worse, I guess. And so, with that, I think it's just with yourself, you got to work on that, getting over that, and hey, being content with where you are, and, really enjoying the success of other people. I think one key insight that I've had about successful people in general is that they root for and enjoy the success of other people. They're not trying to tear everybody down. And so unfortunately, I've fallen victim to that maybe form of fear, if I can be honest with you guys. But one really interesting one, so it came from reading The Bootstrapper's Bible by Seth Godin. It's a free PDF. You could find it online. So the fear of being wrong. And you don't want to implement the new tactic, the new strategy, or whatever, because you might be wrong. And that's kind of an interesting one. He brings it up in the form of the example he gives is in his interviews. When he interviews a candidate, he's run, I think, 2 or 3 companies in his lifetime. He asks them a question that he expects they will not know the answer to. And the question he asks them is, how many gas stations do you think there are in the United States? And so and of course what he's looking for there is, are they able to solve interesting problems? And he doesn't really even care if they get the right answer. I don't even know if he knows what the right answer is. It's more, Are they willing to take a stab at it? How do they think about it, even if the number comes out off? And what's remarkable about this question is that a lot of people, and I don't remember what the percentage is, but a very high percentage of people that he interviews, despite the fact that it's an interview and he's asked them this question, he wants them to try to figure it out, don't even attempt to answer the question because they don't want to say something that's wrong, or they don't want to even much worse, write something down, if they're doing like the math on the back of an envelope or something like that that might be wrong. And I mean, we're as humans, we're incredibly afraid of getting things wrong. We don't want to buy the wrong car, make the wrong career choice, even say the wrong answer, right? And so it's one of these things where it's like, I'm sure everybody has a memory like this, either at work or at school, or maybe both. For me, definitely both, where a question has been asked and you think you know the right answer, and you don't say it because you're worried it might be wrong. And then somebody else, 5 seconds later says the thing you were thinking, and hey, that's the good answer. And so everybody, they get the credit and you get nothing. It's just because of your fear. You were too scared to speak up. So I thought one interesting way to fight fear would be to start small, and just to start with something like the fear of getting things wrong. Specifically, the most non-threatening form of that is, the fear of getting the answer to a question wrong. And so it's usually good to start small and sort of work your way up. And so what I thought would be cool is you could practice right here, right now, in the comment section. So I'll ask you the Seth Godin question. How many gas stations do you think there are in the United States? Don't try to Google any research. I don't even know if that answer is out there anywhere. It's probably be hard to find, but just kind of make some assumptions, do some, back of the envelope math, come up with whatever number you can come up with. It'll probably be fantastically wrong, and that's beautiful. Put your answer in the comments and just give a little brief explanation of what your reasoning was. And you'll be wrong in all likelihood, but it'll be awesome. You'll have taken a stab at it. Nobody's gonna make fun of you. Don't worry. If they make fun of you, I'll block them. But it'll be a good lighthearted exercise. So if you watch this video, come up just with a random number. It can just be a top of your head guess, or it could be a little bit more involved, back of the envelope math kind of thing. How many gas stations do you think are in the United States? Put your thoughts in the comments and go out there and fight fear, because for the vast majority of us, fear is the thing that's holding us back, keeping us down, and we got to fight it and we got to win. Hey, thanks so much for watching, and hopefully I will see you guys tomorrow.